Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more details videos. Coco Gauff's mother Candi sends love to American as she completes her fun French Open press tour ahead of grass season. ChatGPT said, Candi Gauff sends her love. A creative reflection on Coco Gauff's French Open journey and what comes next. The red clay of Roland Garros had barely settled when Candi Gauff, mother of tennis sensation Coco Gauff, stepped into the soft Parisian light with a smile that warmed even the most cynical sports reporters. Her daughter had just completed another memorable French Open run, poised, powerful, and unapologetically joyful. But while Coco fielded her share of press questions with maturity beyond her 20 years, it was Candi who turned heads with her own quiet grace and warmth during what the internet dubbed her unofficial French Open press tour. She didn't need a podium. Her love spoke louder. A mother's poise, a champion's spark. Candi Gauff has long been a figure of support in the background of her daughter's career. A former heptathlete, a scholar, and, by all accounts, a fierce protector of her daughter's dreams. But in Paris, this June, she became something more. A symbol of maternal strength, black excellence, and joyful celebration. It started with a wink. After one of Coco's matches, Candi was caught on camera in the stands, offering a subtle nod and playful wink to her daughter. Social media lit up. Candi's corner. Fans joked, comparing her grace to Michelle Obama, her vibes to Beyoncé, her spirit to every strong mother who had ever raised a star without asking for the spotlight. But now, the spotlight was curious. Who was this woman, dressed in elegant pastels and exuding both Southern charm and iron resolve, who seemed to radiate calm even as her daughter faced down the pressure of Grand Slam expectations? The quiet tour. Without trying, Candi's presence became part of the French Open story. A few interviews here, a few gentle comments there. She wasn't giving press conferences. But every time a mic was extended, she answered with authenticity and care. "We're just grateful," she said once. "Coco is doing what she loves. That's all any mother could ask." Her words, simple but sincere, rippled through a tournament often marked by intensity. Candi spoke of belief, of balance, of letting Coco be a young woman who could both cry in the locker room and dance on TikTok. Reporters from ESPN to French radio stations took note. Here was a story they hadn't told enough. The power of black motherhood, not just behind greatness, but shaping it, molding it with love and patience. She made time for fans, for photographers, for curious children who wanted to know what it was like to raise a star. "She's still my little girl," she would say, with a smile that told stories she didn't need to voice. From clay to grass, a season of transition. As Coco wrapped up her run in Paris, and attention turned to the lush lawns of Wimbledon, Candi offered a parting message, posted via Coco's team, but clearly infused with maternal warmth. "Thank you, Paris. And thank you to everyone back home who cheered for our girl. We feel the love. See you on the grass." It wasn't just a goodbye. It was a bridge. From the red clay of Roland Garros to the green courts of England, the journey is not just physical. It's emotional, spiritual, familial. The tennis world often speaks of transitions as tactical. Changing shoes, adjusting grips, modifying strategy. But for the Gauffs, transition is also about grounding. It's about prayer and presence. About remembering that win or lose, the Gauff name represents something deeper than titles. It represents unity, authenticity, and resilience. Grass with gratitude. The grass season, though brief, is sacred in tennis. Wimbledon carries its own kind of magic. White outfits, strawberries and cream, the ghost of legends in every blade of grass. And as Coco prepares for what could be a defining summer, her team is locked in, her body is ready, and, perhaps most importantly, her heart is light. Much of that lightness comes from the calm she carries from her family, especially her mother. Candi, never one to court drama or offer criticism, seems to radiate a belief in process rather than outcome. In a world addicted to winning, she reminds Coco, and the rest of us, that the joy is in the journey. Whether Coco exits in the first round or lifts the Venus rosewater dish at Wimbledon, Candi's love will remain the same, steady as ever, proud as always. A legacy beyond tennis. But let's not mistake Candi's quietness for passivity. Her influence is everywhere in Coco's story, from the way she moves on court, to the way she handles pressure, to the way she speaks truth without bitterness. It's a distinctly maternal legacy, not just raising a champion, but raising a whole person. In many ways, Candi is part of a new archetype. Mothers of modern sports icons who lead with love, strength, and wisdom. Like Wanda Durant or Sonia Curry, she is not a prop in her child's narrative, but a pillar. She doesn't dominate the headlines, but when she speaks, people listen. And in Paris, they listened. They heard her grace. They saw her pride. They felt her love. The American connection. Before leaving France, Candi made sure to acknowledge the fans back home. An America that is increasingly fragmented, but united. However briefly, in cheering for one of its brightest young stars, her message was simple. We see you. We thank you. We carry your cheers with us. In an era where nationalism often feels weaponized, the Gauffs offer a version of American identity rooted in hope and humility. Coco plays for herself, yes, but also for a country that still dreams. And Candi, with every elegant appearance and heartfelt comment, reminds us that the American story is also a mother's story. Complicated, tender, enduring. Final thoughts. The real trophy. As the sun sets on another French Open and rises on a new season of possibility, Coco Gauff continues her journey, not alone, but anchored by the unwavering presence of her family. In a sport where players often feel isolated by fame, pressure, and scrutiny, Coco walks hand in hand with love. She trains with science and competes with fire, but she lives in the shelter of a mother's belief. And in that belief, there is no scoreboard, no trophy, just truth, just love. And perhaps, as Candi Gauff sent her quiet blessing into the world, from the clay of Paris to the grass of London and beyond, that is the greatest win of all. When 20-year-old tennis sensation Coco Gauff concluded her French Open campaign this year, it wasn't just her forehand that left an impression on the Parisian clay courts. It was her spirit, and behind that indomitable energy was a woman who has shaped more than just Coco's tennis, her mother, Candi Gauff. As Coco charmed reporters, lit up interviews with her intelligence and humor, and bounced into the hearts of fans during her press tour, one constant was the quiet yet powerful presence of her mother in the background. But in a rare moment, as Coco wrapped up her whirlwind French Open media circuit and prepared for the upcoming grass season, Candi stepped into the spotlight, not to talk tactics, rankings, or rivalries, but to send a heartfelt message home. To America. Thank you for raising her with me. In a short but deeply moving video shared by the WTA on social media, Candi Gauff, elegant and composed, addressed the camera directly with a soft smile. To everyone back home, thank you. For watching, for cheering, for believing. For raising her with me. It was an unusual phrase, raising her with me. But it landed with the weight of truth, because Coco Gauff is more than just a product of talent and coaching. She's a mosaic crafted from millions of small pieces, community, mentors, coaches, teachers, friends, and yes, a nation. Candi continued. Every time Coco steps on the court, she's carrying not just her dreams, or our families. She's carrying the dreams of so many little girls who look like her, sound like her, who dream like her. For a moment, the world remembered that behind the athlete is the girl. Behind the girl is the village. The power of the press tour. Coco Gauff's French Open press tour wasn't your typical next match chatter. From joking with reporters in French to candid reflections on mental health and pressure, she turned each microphone moment into a masterclass in authenticity. Fans online dubbed her the future of tennis media, not only for her transparency, but for her joy. But while Coco was winning hearts in press rooms, it was her mother who was often quietly taking photos from the wings, giving her a knowing nod after tough questions, or sometimes waiting patiently just off camera. In Paris, Candi Gauff was more than a tennis mom. She became a symbol of support, grace, and deep maternal love. A story rooted in love and sacrifice. Candi Gauff, a former track and field athlete and educator, has always kept a low profile despite playing a pivotal role in Coco's development. Alongside her husband Corey, she made the decision early on to homeschool Coco so they could fully support her tennis journey, a path filled with unknowns, long days, and sacrifices, both financial and emotional. Their story has often been compared to the Williams family, and while the parallels are evident, the Gauffs have quietly carved out a lane of their own, rooted in both athletic discipline